Hi, I'm Gabrielle Jacinto. I play Olivia on My Life with the Walter Boys, and you're watching Pop Culture with Pat.
Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. So today I'm going to be talking all things My Life with the Walter Boys with Olivia herself, Gabrielle Jacinto. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Gabrielle.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course. And just a heads up, guys, we might go into slight spoiler territory here in the interview. So I just want to give you guys that heads up if you haven't finished the show. If you haven't finished the show, what are you doing? Make sure you go ahead and check that out on Netflix now. But yeah, Abby, we will go ahead and kind of just start things off for you, going back to the beginning as far as just like, getting involved with the show. You get the audition, you book the role. What did that process kind of look for you? And did you audition for anybody else besides Olivia? Because I know sometimes, or oftentimes, you guys will go in and audition for a number of different characters. So, what did all that kind of look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I feel like it was a very interesting process on this show because a lot of us didn't audition for the roles that we ended up booking. Because for example, like I initially went in for Kiley and I did like a pin and then I got called back and everything. And then I heard that I didn't get it and I was like so sad. But and then they turns out that they were considering me for Olivia and like I hadn't gone out for Olivia, didn't really know much about her. But then I just booked it. And I guess like that's a thing that they were doing on this show because like I think even Ellie who plays Grace didn't audition for Grace and like I know Mya also I think she went out for Grace. So it's like everyone kind of went out for different roles, but then Melanie, our lovely showrunner, I guess, kind of like saw something else in each person and kind of like rearranged it a little bit. And I guess it all worked out perfectly because the casting on the show is like, I feel like really perfect. But yeah, it was very interesting.
Oh yeah, no, the casting's phenomenal for sure. Yeah, no, I've talked to other actors like before, and a lot of times, like you guys will go out for one character, maybe you don't necessarily get that, but then you end up getting another role like in the show, and
Yeah.
so I mean, congratulations on the success of the series. It's been doing great so far. I thought Olivia was interesting because when we first meet her, she's Erin's best friend. But then she also kind of wants to be Jackie's, friend, it seems like, kind of, and that
Yeah.
annoys Erin a little bit, at the
Yeah.
beginning of the show. So, what were your first thoughts of Olivia, like once you found out that was the character that you were going to be playing? What did you think of her?
Yeah, well, well, I was really excited because I mean, all they really saw, or all I really read about Olivia initially was that she was just like one of the popular girls, one of the mean girls, best friends with Erin. But like she has a really strong desire to be liked, and she's kind of misguided, and she makes a few mistakes, which I actually really appreciated because I really enjoy that on this show. They really let us see what it's like to be young and like to make mistakes and like not know what you're supposed to do, And
It's high school.
yeah. Yeah, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like we're all like, I don't know. This show really allowed us to like be young and like figure things out. So yeah, and I was really excited when I started to see that um Olivia has these kind of like little moments with Jackie. Like, even though I don't get to interact with her that much on the show, I think it kind of like sets things up where like, I don't know, maybe one day we'll all be friends.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. You definitely have
Yeah.
like those little moments like here and there, and that's one of the things too that I like about the show is with the characters is that again, it's high school. People are going to make mistakes, do things that it's like you're not necessarily thinking in the moment. And you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
probably shouldn't have done that. So, but
Yeah.
I like how a lot of the characters, you see them initially and you might think that they're a certain way or that's how they're going to be in the whole show. But then as the episodes go on in the series, you see that there's a little bit more to those characters, which, makes them really interesting.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that because there's a huge cast on the show, so many recurring characters. But I feel like they did a really good job of making sure that everyone had like a really nice arc and like a really well thought out character development. And so it was just really nice like having everyone intertwined and everyone kind of like growing throughout the season.
Yeah, and it's really tough to do, especially with a cast of this size. I mean, just with the Walter family themselves, you have
Yeah,
a pretty big family, but then you
right.
add all the other characters, the friends at high school and stuff like you have the adult like group as well. So it's like I can
Yeah.
imagine that's pretty tough when you're writing out the show to make sure that everyone is kind of getting their moments throughout the series is pretty hard to do, but I thought that they handled that well for you guys. So, obviously we haven't heard anything official, at least that I believe yet, as far as like a season two or anything like that. So this is all
Yeah.
pure speculation, guys. But
Yeah.
where would you like to see Olivia, possibly go or things to do maybe in future seasons?
Well, I feel like if we're lucky enough to hopefully get renewed, I would definitely love for all of us to be friends. Like I said, I think we kind of worked out, I mean, spoiler alert, that like, Erin and Jackie end up like resolving things and like me and Erin resolve things. So I feel like it's a really nice setup to kind of if Jackie comes back, who knows?
Yeah.
Um, we'll have like a nice support system for her at school. And I don't know, I feel like everyone's kind of getting matched up with someone romantically. And I'm like, well, maybe Olivia will get to settle down with someone. Who knows?
Yeah. I was to
Yeah.
say, who will that be?
I don't know because all the Walter boys are taken. And like, like I'm like, well, there's no one else because they're all like the rest of them are all little young babies.
Yeah.
But
Well, we got plenty of kids at the high school that we could very well, introduce in, season two, future seasons. So maybe it's just
yeah.
somebody that we haven't met yet.
Yes, hopefully. Yeah.
Now, well, I guess that kind of like ties in. I was going to ask you, like, who are some characters that you would like to see her maybe interact with either more or maybe for the first time that you didn't get to interact with in season one if you guys get a season two?
Yeah. Well, I would really love to have some interactions with Jackie's friend group, with like Skylar and Kiley and Grace. Maya's one of my good friends in real life. And so I'm like, we like didn't get to like work together much on the show. I feel like it was like completely separate groups, really. But I would love to have those interactions with them. And yeah, I guess maybe like I don't know, one day see what it's like to be friends with the Walter boys, They're so elusive, but they're so cool,
Yep.
But yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that would be neat too if you and Maya, especially where you guys have that friendship already. Obviously, I think you guys would have great, chemistry, your
Mhm.
characters like on screen where you have that friendship. So hopefully
Yeah,
that's something that we get to see. Kylie's like one of my favorite, characters in the series.
me
So
too.
well,
Yeah.
hopefully we get that, fingers
Yeah.
crossed. One of the main themes of the show, obviously, is family, being the Walter family. It's so huge. Can you just talk about forming that family dynamic on set? There's so many different people, and what was it like shooting and also bonding with the cast behind the scenes? Do you have like any like funny stories or anything like that that come to mind for you?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess like in terms of like family, I guess we all kind of, especially since this takes place in such a small town, I feel like we really started to have that kind of vibe on set because like we were shooting for like 5 months and like all together isolated in Calgary because no one was from Calgary. Um, so it was just really nice like having that bond, like seeing each other like all the time for 5 months. And yeah, I mean, I love like one of the last days we had shooting. I posted a video about it on my Instagram, but basically it was like it was one of our last days of shooting and we were shooting the Ferris wheel scene. And Maya and Ellie and Alisha were all there and Kayla as well. And we were all kind of doing our festival scenes.
Yep.
And it was just really fun because it's like we had some downtime on set and the sun was setting and like we were just in our costumes and like feeling really good about everything. And we just like, I don't know, started running around as you do. And it was just like really fun just to like have, I don't know, just like thinking about what we've done for the past 5 months and like how amazing it's been and life-changing it's been. And I don't know, it's just like fun to be like silly and just like be chasing each other on set?
Yeah. Now was
Yeah.
that was like the fair, was that all like a set or was there like a fair ground kind of like in that area that you guys got to go to or
Yeah, I think it was an actual fair. I'm not sure when it functions, but it was like a Ferris wheel that was in somewhere in Calgary in Alberta. But yeah, and then we went to an actual place and they were all just there already, so we just used that.
No, I mean that makes it a lot easier as because
Yeah.
it's crazy the stuff that you can see that they build for sets sometimes. So I was like, I mean, they very well could have made that whole entire fair just for you guys to shoot on, but that's cool.
Yeah.
So it was like an actual fair, and you guys got to all kind of like hang out. I mean, it looked like a beautiful area where you guys shot. So
Yeah, yeah, it was. And like the Ferris wheel was like so old and so like creaky. I think they had to do so much ADR for that scene because it was going like backwards. It's a really fast Ferris wheel. Like it wasn't those ones that just like slowly like you go around. Like you're like going out around so many times. And like I feel so bad because like a lot of the extras that were on it had to stay on for like the whole time we were shooting for
jeez.
continuity. And I was like, "Ooh, what a ride, a 4 hour ride, you know?"
Hopefully no one gets sick.
I know. But they were all troopers for that. But it was just super cool to be able to shoot on a Ferris wheel as well.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
say that sounds like fun. Now, for you, Abby, what advice would you give your character in navigating the high school years?
Yeah, I think, the thing I really enjoyed about Olivia, and I feel like a lot of people can connect to, is just, I don't know, like having that feeling of being, I don't know, insecure, like not knowing your place yet, not feeling like you're good enough or that you fit in and I think that was the reason why Olivia did a lot of the things she did just because of that feeling of wanting to belong and be liked. And I feel like I don't know if I could talk to Olivia, I would love to tell her that like you don't have to have everything figured out. Like high school is a crazy place to navigate and you make mistakes and it's okay for that to happen and as long as you learn from it. And I feel like I would just love to like give her a hug and be like, it's okay. You'll figure everything out. You have time. Yeah, and just like, just know that like everyone has their place and like you don't have to know what it is yet, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, for sure. Well, I
Yeah.
think I think that's some great advice. So, because
Mm.
yeah, I mean, you're in high school. It's like it's kind of like those last couple of years before you really hit the, quote unquote, like real world. And, then you
Yeah.
start getting all these, additional responsibilities and stuff like that. But I feel
Mhm.
like, yeah, sometimes kids feel like, hey, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm lost. And so I think that's some great advice that you gave that you would give to her.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like, I mean, from what I remember from high school, I feel like things feel like the end of the world, but
Yeah.
then you get out and you're like, wait, my
Yeah,
life hasn't even started yet.
yeah, these little things feel like it's like such like high stakes, but then you
Yeah.
find out it's like that really didn't maybe matter as much as I thought as it did, back then.
Yeah,
Now,
right.
for you, like who would your high school self have gotten along with best as far as like the cast goes for My Life with the Walter Boys?
Yeah. I mean, I think definitely probably, I bet like my high school self would have loved Grace.
Okay,
I
yeah.
feel like I was like such a weird kid and like so quirky and like, like I feel like we just would have been like really crazy together if I went to that school.
I feel like I feel like everybody loves Grace, at least, like from like
Yeah.
what I've seen. She just so bubbly, full of energy, but yeah, has that little bit
Yeah.
of like weirdness to her. But I
Yeah.
have like my weird side, so I connect with her
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Ellie killed it. Ellie was so funny as Grace.
So you have a show, like My Life with the Walter Boys, with that, it comes out, it blows up. It already kind of has that built-in fan base where you had the book, so you had those people that were already looking forward to it. But then it hits Netflix, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, like I love this show." You start seeing the fan art, the videos, I'm sure, like on Instagram and stuff
Yeah.
like that. What's the reaction been like for you? And has anything that you've seen so far, has it surprised you?
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of one of my first kind of big things that's ever come out. And so it was very surprising to me, just how much people have kind of fallen in love with it. I feel like I'm really grateful for the young people that have like, I don't know, just like interacted so much with the show and like they make their like edits and they speculate and like make their theories and I feel like it's so cool like how creative these people are and like they're the ones that are they have so much power, you know, like all those young people watching. And I know I would have ate this show up if I was a kid, if I was a teenager and this came out. Like, oh my gosh, I would have loved the love triangle. And I don't know, it's just so interesting. And like I know everyone's kind of been comparing it to The Summer I Turned Pretty. And I remember that we were shooting when the first season of The Summer I Turned Pretty came out. And we were like, wait, this is like the same show, except we're like the yeehaw version, you know? So it's
The
just like been
version, that's
really,
great.
I know, like the cowboy version. Um, but it's just been really interesting because I feel like there's, I don't know, a place in the world for both of these shows to coexist. And like everyone's just kind of been like, I don't know, like coming of age, love triangle stuff. Everyone, you know, you always like that stuff, especially if you're like young. And so it's just been really nice seeing like the thoughts that people have and like the messages I've been receiving from all these people that have really been enjoying it. And it's just, I'm just really grateful for all the response it's been getting.
Yeah, I mean, it must be great, as an actor, just to see that something that you're involved in, has connected with an audience and just seeing what it means to some of these people. So I'm sure that is just, great to, like you said, see some of those messages. And I'm sure you've probably been like tagged in like a bunch of different things on like
Yeah.
social media as well.
Yeah, yeah, they're so creative. It's like, oh my gosh, like I don't know, they're so quick with it too.
Yeah.
Like the second it came out, they're like, they have the music, they have the edits. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's
people
really been crazy.
definitely some talented people for sure. And yeah, I
Yeah.
mean this kind of show, like I'll always be a sucker for those like coming of age stories, things that take place in high school because even if you're not necessarily in high school anymore, everyone
Mhm.
goes through that part of their life, at some point. And so you
Yeah.
kind of look back and you're like, yeah, I remember what that was like for me. So, and I feel like
Mhm.
the show too, like everyone has at least like probably one character on the show that you can relate to, in some aspect.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's also another thing that I really enjoy is just like that, yeah, and all the characters that we have, there's something that everyone can connect to. I think even like the older characters, like we have things for like the parents watching or like anyone, you know, out of high school that they can kind of relate to. And I feel like yeah, it's just like really nice to have a kind of show that has kind of everything, you
Yeah.
know?
Is there like a specific scene or moment in the show that sticks out for you, like is your favorite, and why does that moment or scene stick out for you the most?
Um, I guess I would say maybe I would say the Ferris wheel scene.
That's a great
Just
scene.
because yeah, because I feel like Olivia kind of like pops in here and there, says her like silly little things, and then like, you know, does her little reactions. But I feel like the Ferris wheel scene is kind of where you get to see I don't know, kind of the depth of like her and Erin's relationship, and you kind of get to see like I don't know, like girls before boys, you know, like your friends come first and like that like you can make these big mistakes and like I don't know, like I feel like it's really nice to see like girls kind of getting back together and like resolving friendships and like you know realizing that friendships are more important than anything else. And also I really enjoy the at the ending it was like completely improv about like the we had this line about like the tornado potatoes, like the potato on a stick. And I remember like when we were filming that day, like I was so hungry and like that was all I could think about. And so I just love that that made it in
That's
because
awesome.
it's a little piece of me, you know? But
Yep.
yeah.
That's great. Yeah, it's always cool when if like those little moments that weren't necessarily like on the script and they find a way like, in there. It just adds a little extra like flavor to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. I think that was like one of my, favorite scenes too. And it was nice to see them because I was like, you could see that Olivia obviously was like trying to reconnect with Erin, and you're like, oh, like, is this gonna happen before we get to the end of the season? So it
Yeah.
was nice to see that they had, that little moment where they were able to, connect and remember what was really important about their friendship, like you said, for sure.
Yeah.
And like I said, I feel like, there's at least someone on the show that everyone can kind of like connect with. For you, Abby, was that Olivia? Like, because I obviously you played the character, but was there any other character on the show that maybe you connect with more on like a personal level, or was that Olivia for you?
I don't know. I feel like maybe.
I know you mentioned a little bit about Grace, like you said that you would probably
Yeah,
connect with her, like if you were in like high school. So like
yeah,
maybe her.
maybe her. Yeah, I do really love what Ellie did with Grace, and I don't know, like just being that like quirky, like unapologetically yourself, you know? I think maybe I would also relate to Jackie, I feel like not in the trauma aspect, but just I guess in the sense of like wanting to, like accomplish something, like having that, need like the drive to like, I don't know, prove yourself and I feel like I really love that like Jackie's such a powerful character and like Nikki made her so strong and like I don't know, I feel like I would it kind of appeals to like that part of me that's like I don't know, like always kind of like wanted to like get somewhere and like
Yep.
accomplish something,
That drive.
Yeah, yeah. I really like that about what Nikki did with Jackie.
Yeah, yeah, she was phenomenal in the series. I think
Yeah.
for me, I believe this was the first time that I've seen her like in anything. And so
Mhm.
I was really impressed by her in this series, just every time that she was on the show, like she really, commanded like, the those scenes. So I thought that she was fantastic. And I mean, all of you guys, I'm excited to see, a lot of you seeing you guys for the first time. So excited to see different projects for you guys, coming up in the
Yeah.
future.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like I'm really appreciative that this show was really open to having like fresh faces and like people that haven't been, too open to the world yet. But yeah, Nikki is brilliant and I feel like you can really see just like how good she has how good she is at like carrying a show, like she's like in everything as being like number one and she's just like I don't know, she just like has such a strength to her that I feel like is like so brilliant for a lead on the show.
Agreed. As far as like the show goes, so like for me, I feel like it definitely was like a comfort show for me. It's just like kind of
Yeah.
like easy to. It definitely deals with some tough like topics, but
Mhm.
overall, it's like I feel like a nice comfort show and like perfect time to release it too, right around the holiday season. You have people being around their families and stuff like that. So I'm curious, and I think it's going to be a lot of other people's comfort show as well.
Mhm.
I'm curious for you, Abby, what are some comfort shows for you that you like to watch?
Oh, I've rewatched The Office so many times. I mean, I think that's a lot of people's comfort show. Yeah, I mean, I've just been trying to like catch up on shows that like my friends are in these days. Like, I've been watching Yellow Jackets.
There you go.
I mean, I don't know if that's a comfort show, but
Yeah,
pretty heavy.
yeah, I would say that. I don't know if that'd be a comfort show, but I mean, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, when it calls for it. But yeah, I don't know. I just like I watched It's a Wonderful Knife
Yep.
recently.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
actually just saw that too.
yeah, right. Yeah, and it was actually pretty cool. Like, I don't know.
It had its
Um,
horror aspects, but it
yeah.
actually had a little bit more of like a comforting feeling to it than I was like expecting it to have.
Yeah, yeah. Like I love like the ending and like the family aspect. I feel like that's always nice this time of year.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean I
Another
kind of
one for
want
me
to get
is
into
Stranger Things. Stranger
Oh,
Things is
Stranger
like
Things.
one of my favorite
Yeah.
shows of all time. So,
I still need to catch up on that. Still
oh,
got two seasons to catch up on.
oh, so you haven't seen like three and four then?
No, no, not yet.
Okay, all right, you're in for a good time. And I mean, the good thing is like
Yeah.
they're working on the final season now, so you got
Right.
time to
I
catch
have
up
a
on
little
the
time.
last
Yeah.
two. So it's
Yeah,
kind
I
of
gotta
nice
get
for
on that.
you because like you don't have to really deal with like the big wait time that we have right now because you can still
That's
go
true.
through three and four.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I gotta get on that.
We got time. Like this is definitely the end of the year. Like granted
Yeah.
we got the holidays and stuff, but this is like usually the time where it's like try to catch up on things that maybe I didn't get a chance to like earlier in the year. So I've been watching some movies and different shows and stuff like that before, we kind of start things all over again and, go into
Right.
2024. I have to ask you, and I'm sure it's that the age old question. I feel like you probably have been asked this before, but are you Team Cole or Team Alex?
I am going to say that I am Team Cole
Okay.
only because I love like him and Jackie have something a little different.
Yeah.
But also I just feel like Alex and Kylie needs to happen, you
I
know?
agree. I was well, obviously we've said like spoilers, but man, I was the that last episode, the finale,
Yes.
where I'm probably gonna mess up the line, but he's drunk and he
Yeah.
points to her and he's like, "Oh, you're just like one of the dudes." And you see the
No.
tears in her eyes, and I was like, "Alex, you idiot!" Like, granted, like
He
he's with
fumbled.
Jackie, but I was like, "What
Yeah.
are you doing?"
I know he needs to come to his senses. He fumbled Kylie so bad,
Yeah.
but I just need it to happen because yeah,
But I'm
there's
sure
something.
again, fingers crossed, hopefully we get season two. Hopefully we get
Yeah.
multiple seasons of the show and we get to
Same.
really explore these characters. And I know there's a lot of fans of that pairing out there already as well. So I'm sure
Yeah.
they want to see that too. Um,
Mhm.
Abby, is there anything else that you want to say, just about like working on the show or anything that you want to say to the fans, to kind of wrap things up?
Um, I guess just like thank you to everyone for enjoying the show. I feel like, I mean, like being on the show, I think we kind of realize that there's like something special here, and I'm really thankful that people are seeing that. And so, yeah, I'm just like really grateful for everyone who's appreciating it and interacting with it because they're also creative, and it's just amazing to see.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, thank you so much again, Abby, for coming on the show, taking time out of your schedule. I'm glad that we were able to make this happen and just, talk about the series. Congratulations again on the success of the show. And for fans that want to keep up with your work too, I know you have like Instagram. Is there anywhere else like fans can follow you as far as like social media and stuff like that goes, or is Instagram the main place?
Pretty much the main place, yeah.
And what's your handle on there?
Yeah, it's at Abby Blich. Don't really, I'm Bleghh. I don't
Okay,
know. It's a sound effect, but yeah.
perfect.
There.
I'll make sure to link it down below in the
Oh,
description
yeah.
so that way you guys can go ahead and give her a follow. But yeah, such a great time talking to you, Abby, and you are welcome back anytime in the future.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. This was really fun. Hi, I'm Gabrielle Jacinto. I play Olivia on My Life with the Walter Boys, and you're watching Pop Culture with Pet.